Hi guys, and welcome to part 2 of the CB125. Welcome to part 2 of the CB125 Cafe Racer Build. Autofocus, you nana. So last episode I showed you the strip down of the bike and gave you a go over with what my plans were. Those plans, as you could see, was doing an Aprilia RS125 front end swap. So this episode I'm going to show you how I achieve this. I got these handlebars and forks to fit. So I've managed to get the old bearing off, and if you can see, there's a little bit of a lump here. That's because this is 25mm, and it's the same here as well. This is also the 25 for the current bearing. Yeah, I'll get that pressed out and then we will be on to machining. Nice. Yeah. So there we have it, nice and easy, pressed out. Literally now just a case of getting it on a lathe and machining this part here and this part here, but as you can see it's not going to change the strength of it because it's already like been machined down this part anyway, so it's just literally following that, and hopefully the bearings will come for the weekend and I can get this all fitted. Speak of the devil, they've just turned up. I ordered them from this Pyramid Parts, and yeah, and this is the size I went for, 24 by 41 by 12.5. so hopefully, I'm not too sure about the height of the bearing, but everything else I'm pretty certain that we should be able to fit the stem, because obviously the stem is 25mm, this bearing's 24, hence the millimeter machining off. The collar on the side is 41mm, spot on, so I just hope that's that. I need to order the locking collar and dust seals and everything to finish off this conversion, but overall this is a good step in the right direction. But yeah, thanks Pyramid Parts. Nice. Good surface area.
Just get underneath it and have a look.
Okay.
Brian!
Press it in.
Bearings.
Yeah, I'd move, just in case. It's just like we've got like 2mm to go for that.
Ow! What you say?
His last words were, "It's all right."
No. Yeah, this needs to go in the freezer. So the idea is the cold bearing cap, whatever you want to call it, the inner piece. Being cold metal, it should have contracted a little bit. So hopefully it'll be sliding, because they are very tight to get in. So I'm going to go and get the bearing now, and yeah, hopefully it should just go in with a bit more ease. I need to probably tap it in with something. I'm just going to find a bit of wood and we'll go from there. There it is. So this bearing has only been in the freezer for like 5 minutes, so it's pretty cold, but it's whoops. Okay, so not cold enough, obviously. Oh, it's on the bend. Okay, that hasn't worked. Ooh, 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 ooh. Looking at it, that's in. that is in. Right, we've got the top in. Maybe we should have a look at getting the bottom in. This should sit in a bit further than the top, simply because it's got a deeper recess. So yeah, I'll go and get the bearing out of the freezer now and we'll see how we get on. Right, this is going to be a little bit more tricky because of being upside down. But straight away that's in. Let's okay, maybe not. In, nice and flush. Great. Right, so now it's the case of getting this part of the bearing pressed onto the actual stem, and then the stem can go in and we will have a fully functioning set of tapered bearings. So these are the bearings. I'm just warming them up a little bit. That's the stem and bottom yoke in the freezer. I'm trying to contract the metal a little bit so the bearings are a little bit easier to get on. So we'll leave that in there for a little bit longer and we will come back to it. It's been in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Not long, but we don't need it in for very long. Let's get that on. I've got the bottom washer on. I've got my bearing here warm. Found a bit of copper pipe to kind of hammer it on with. That's if it will go on. Attempt number 2. So this is 400 grit. I'm just going to go around it in a nice even motion and try to keep it round because it only needs to go down a fraction. Yeah, I don't know why they're still that tight, because it was very close on the lathe. Hopefully it's just a tiny bit of sanding, that's all it needs. Step number 2.
Thousand years later.
Really? Got it! I didn't catch it on camera, but it's on! You have no idea how long that took to do. I've had to like do so much sanding and I've just like every lunchtime for the past 3 days just to get to this point. Yes! Right guys, so we are back with the bike. With the new stem and yoke, the new bearing on. Yeah. We are at this point where we can actually now fit it to the bike. Right. So I've already got the other half of the bearing in. So the next part will be to get the top part of the bearing on. This bit I've kind of like ground it down enough so it does just slip on and I don't have to press it on, because obviously that's just going to be a nightmare. There's no play in it, so that's good. Okay, so after that we have to put the dust seal and washer on. These are off the Aprilia, so they are genuine parts. They may not be the right one between the two, but I mean they're still going to give some protection to the bearing, so that's all I care about. So now that's on. The handlebars. This should just slip on, and then to hold the whole thing together, top nut. Right. Let's just tighten this lot up. Okay, take 2. Right, so I've got all this tight, hand tight at the moment, so they're not fully there. But I'm just going to put the struts in, hold it all together, and then I'll finish tightening it up and see how, if there's any play in it or not, because obviously these parts aren't meant to fit, so there may be some issues, but we'll see. So let's try that now. Also take note that I'm not greasing up the bearings or anything yet, just because this isn't the final test fit and I want to do all that when it's all the rest of the bike's together. So this is literally just a trial fit, and I'll do all the proper tightening and bearing greasing and everything and afterwards. So oh, we're nearly there. Come on. And that's 2 in. Oh yes. Come on guys, let me show you now, let me show you. Yes. So, Aprilia RS125 forks on a Honda CB125. My god. So as you can see down the bottom here, that's that looks really pretty spot on. Top. Oop. Top and bearing. There's a little tiny gap, so I might have to get some kind of like drop down washer, but overall all that work was worth it. Look how mean those handlebars look. Obviously everything's going to need a good clean up at the end and refreshing, but for now it's starting to take shape, the front end is. So I've got the wheel. I've still got to find a caliper and wheel spindle so we can actually finish this front end, but we're this close now. So eBay jobs basically. If I can find them two items, we have the front end of the Aprilia RS125 on this Honda, and then we're on to the rear. So yeah, part 2, we've made a little bit of progress. Part 3 will probably be the rear wheel fitting and rear shocks, because I'm planning on extending the rear out, just getting the swing arm out a little bit, extending it by about 2 inches, new shocks, and we're making progress. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to get this chopped out, and this is where I'm going to have a custom bracket made for a Speedo, and then obviously I'm going to have to make custom brackets for the headlights and so on. But I mean, in the scheme of things, that shouldn't be too difficult, so we'll see how we get on with that. But overall I am really happy with how this is looking. Yeah, there's still a lot to do, a long way to go, but hopefully this will keep you entertained for a little bit. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button, like the video because that always helps. Any comments about what I've done or what I'm planning to do, just comment and I will reply to you. Thanks for watching. So stay tuned for part 3 and we will see you when we see you, because this makes no sense.